Hi everyone, it's Kelly from Kelly's Bead Boutique. So I've been making and teaching how to make jewelry for a very long time now. And one of the things that I hear all the time is, you make it look so easy. Well, that's because I think it is. So I'm going to take some simple parts and some simple techniques, and I'm going to teach you how to make your very own jewelry. So if you want to see what I'm making today, come and join me.
Hi everyone. Firstly, I want to apologize for my very croaky voice. I have been homesick for 2 weeks with some nasty virus. They can't seem to figure out how to get rid of this, but I'm working on it, and it just means that I haven't been at work. So I'm trying to work with limited resources here. So I did come up with a cute pair of earrings that's got a little technical twist in it. So I'm hoping that you're going to enjoy this one, and I hope to be back to fighting for them really soon. I'm trying really hard to get better. So for the project today, we're going to be using some 20 gauge antique copper wire, and we're going to be using some bead caps, and we've got a pair of ear wires and a pair of these beautiful tiara cast succulent charms. I'm also using these gorgeous 6x9 rondelles, and we have these on the website, and they're a peridot color, and they're so nice, and it just pairs so beautifully with the antique copper. I also have these 4mm, I think they're called patina olivine, and they're a beautiful fire polish, and they just all pair so nicely together. I also have a second colorway, so make sure to stay till the end so you can see that one. And for our tools today, we're going to be using our usual 4 tools: our round nose pliers, our bent chain nose pliers, our chain nose pliers, and our cutters. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is cut our wire. Now if you do buy a kit, you're going to get 12 inches of wire. So make sure you take your wire and straighten it out and then cut it in half. Now we're going to be using a little bit longer piece today, and the reason that we're doing that is to make this just a little bit easier to form the sort of little bit more technical thing that we have to do. So I'm going to go down about 2/3, so not quite half, because we only need a small section for the actual wrap, but it makes it a little bit easier if we have a bit more to wrap with on this one. So I'm going to go down part way with my pliers, and then I'm going to use my thumb and bend away and make a nice sharp angle. Then I'm going to take my round nose pliers and come in just a little bit up the pliers, because I don't want a very large loop. And I'm going to go up and over and straight down with my thumb. And now I'm going to open up those pliers, rotate them so that they're parallel to the table, and then I'm going to take this little tail that we've got and bring it straight to the back. So I want to create a nice loop, and so by doing that I can pull this over, and then we have that really nice sort of lollipop kind of look that we're going for. Now I want to make sure that I pop this through my succulent charm before I wrap it up. So I'm going to pop that in there, and now I'm going to turn it over so that I've got my short tail on the top and the long tail is out to the left. Now the reason I'm leaving a little bit longer piece here is I want to create a really nice smooth wrapped loop. So I'm going to go around a couple times, and now when I'm going to create a bulky wrap, I'm going to go backwards, but I want to make sure that this first wrap is nice and straight. I don't want to have it bent at all or crooked. It's really important that this one is really nice and neat. So you can go 2 or 3 times, it doesn't really matter, but you just want to make sure that it's nice and neat. So I'm going around a total of 3 times, and I'm going to always end on the back so that you don't see this cut wire. So then I'm going to take the flush side of my cutter and come in and just trim that off. So now I need to push this little burr down. So I'm going to take the end of my pliers and I'm going to push that down. But be mindful that we don't wreck the rest of that wrap that we just did. So just kind of grab the end of it and just gently push it down. And it might take a couple times. And if you can't get hold of it, you can always take your bent chain nose pliers, come in and grab that little circle so you've got something better to hang on to, and then give it a little push down. So that's what we want to end up with. We want to have this part here, let me get my fingers out of the way, we want to make sure that this part is nice and flat. And the reason that we're doing that is because I want to seat this bead cap right on top. And I'll show you it when I stack these all on what happens. So I'm then going to put on one of my rondelles and another one of my bead caps. And now that gives it a nice firm place to land. If it was all kind of crooked, it wouldn't sit on there very nicely. And I can see that this is kind of sticking out there a little bit. So I'm going to just kind of go back in here and just sort of finesse this a bit and just kind of push that down. I just wasn't really too happy with the way that that was sitting. So, you know, you're the boss of the wire. Just make it do what you want. So if it's not working, just kind of, you know, take your time. I think I'm actually going to take those off. I usually do this kind of stuff off camera, but I'm going to show you how you can kind of finesse it a bit. So I'm just going to go in there with my pliers and I'm going to push that down just a little bit more because I wasn't really too happy with the way that that was sitting. So we'll see if that's better. Yeah, that's sitting a little bit better. I could even do it a little bit more, but you know, sometimes you can sit on here and do this kind of stuff forever. There, that's what I wanted, just a little bit. Now it just kind of looks a little nicer. So let's repeat that again. So we'll put on our bead cap and our rondelle and then our other bead cap. And then I'm going to place one of these fire polish on top. And then when I push it all down, it sits really nice and flat across there. If this was crooked, your whole piece would be crooked. So be really mindful that that first wrap is nice and straight. If the other ones are a little wonky, it doesn't really matter. It'll just go to sort of that messy look that we often are striving for, right? So now I want to take my pliers and I'm going to run down my wire and push that in there so that's really nice and tight. I don't want to have any looseness in there. So make sure it's seated in there really tight. And then I'm going to just take my wire and using my thumb, I'm going to bend away. And then we're going to go back to the same spot on our round nose pliers, just at the front there, and go up and over and down and open this up, rotate, and pull that straight to the back. And then I'm just going to make sure that that's sitting on top so that we've got that nice little lollipop look. And then I'm going to wrap that up. So now if you have a hard time wrapping with your hands, you can use your pliers, but we've purposely left lots of wire to make sure that we can get something that's nice and neat on this. So I want this one to kind of mimic the first one I did. So I'm taking my time and just making it nice and neat. So again, we're going to come in and trim that, and I'm going to do a little bit better job of trimming that so that I don't have so much to push in. And yes, I know I sound completely out of breath because I am. I'm using puffers, which are helping a little bit, but holy smokes, this one's been tough to shake. Okay, so now we've got our little piece created. I'm going to open up my ear wire, and you open them up very similar to a jump ring in that you just twist it, and then I'm going to place that on. Make sure that you're going the right way, and I'm backwards there, so we're going to turn that around and then do that up. So you just kind of jiggle it back and forth until it's met almost the other side there. So now I'm just going to finish off the second one, and then I'm going to come back with both of the different colors that I've created. So there we go, there's the completed pairs. We have our beautiful antique copper and that gorgeous peridot that just pairs so nicely together. And for all my purple lovers, we have our antique silver and this beautiful lavender purple in there. I think those ones go beautifully together too. So as always, these will be available in kit form. And to access the kits, you just go into the description box below this video, and there's a link that will take you directly to my fully secure website. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and tell me which color is your favorite. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you do so. I want to thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.